When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D. Melville.
Hey everybody, welcome. You're with the Long Bearded Guy, Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're going to talk about beyond measure, navigating the labyrinth of our worth, what our worth and value is, because it seems to be a little bit of a hornet's nest at the moment. So welcome to Red Fridays, right? I'm wearing my red tie. You can't see it under my red and white beard, but red. Remember, everyone deployed. And so we want to make sure we honor the people that are willing to stand on a wall for us and be there for us. So thank you to them and let's go. So welcome. I appreciate you being here. I know there's a lot of people listening on the road and from places at work and from different places. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you plugging in. Please find us on Apple TV and Google TV and YouTube. Right at the moment, you can also find us on and live stream on inspiredchoicesnetwork.tv. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, obviously our Inspired Choices Network free app. It's a free download. And please like, love, share, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe, but it does help our algorithm and help pay for the show. So please help us out. Give me some help. And subscribe and like and share this all over the place. If this stuff resonates with you, please share it. That's the only way I'm going to get more engagement. That's where my heart is. More engagement is by having everybody share it, as many people as they can share it. So please, I look forward to that. If you have questions or comments or concerns, please reach out. The longbeardedguy@gmail.com is the easiest way to get a hold of me. And just so you know who you're talking to, or pardon me, listening to, I guess you're not talking. You're listening. I'm on a mission to positively change the lives of every man. And I just in the last little bit, my message is stop cheating. Stop cheating. Stop being unfaithful to your home relationships with your job. As guys, we tend to run into that all the time. We spend a lot of time at work. And so that's the mission. I'm founder and CEO of Jewel International. I'm a champion mindset mentor. There's a difference between high performance and champion. If you don't know what that is, the longbeardedguy@gmail.com. And we can talk about that. I'm a multi-award winning international best-selling author multiple times. I'm an international keynote speaker. I'll be in Atlanta at the end of September, talking to at the He-Man conference, the MUD conference, Men Under Divine Dominion. A little bit of a tongue twister, but that's in Atlanta on the 29th and 30th of September. If you want tickets, it's a men's only event. You really want to be there. If you can get there, it's going to be incredible. Between 300 and 500 guys in a room. Unbelievable. I'm the champion mindset and energy coach for a pro basketball team. I teach the 7 levels of emotional intelligence for men, and I serve entrepreneurial men and pro athletes. Those are my avatars. That's who you're listening to. And I hope that helps. I hope that that gives you some idea who you're listening to. Now, by the way, do you have your journal? If you don't have your journal, go get your journal. You need your journal. You're going to want to write some of this down today. Again, we can't retain more than 10% of what we hear, even with good notes. And you're going to want to remember some of this stuff. So please get your journal and let's get after it. We're, like I said, we're talking about beyond measure. We have immeasurable, immense, infinite value and worth. But it gets caught up in all this other skata. That's Greek for shit. Trying to be polite. But yeah, it gets caught up in all this other stuff. The waters get muddied with all this other stuff. So what's the definition of worth? WORTH. I mean, we could talk about worth in terms of dollars and cents, right? Money, or gold and silver and all these, right? We could talk about worth and that kind of stuff. But when I say worth in this sense, what I'm talking about is our worth and our value intrinsically, right? As humans, what is our worth and value? So the meaning I found, there's a couple meanings I found, but the value equivalent to that of someone or something under consideration, the level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. deserves to be valued or rated. We don't need to be rated as humans. Do we need to be valued? Yes. Do we need to value ourselves? Yes. More than anybody, nobody else's opinion matters. We're going to talk about that in a later segment here, but our own opinion of us. And at the end of the day, Papa's opinion of us, I thought it was very interesting as I was reading into this and delving into this, that a lot of places that I searched for, how do I find my worth? What is my worth and value as a human? A lot of it has spiritual connection. Almost every single definition I found or article talked about, no matter how you just describe, I call him Papa, God Papa, because of my relationship with him, but however you describe your deity, however you describe higher power, however you describe that, a lot of the definitions came back to that. A lot of them had that as the defining piece. That's where we get some of our worth from, or a lot of our worth from. And for me, that's where I get all of my worth from. It said, according to the self-worth theory, self-worth is determined mostly by our self-evaluated abilities and our performance in one or more activities that we deem valuable. If we don't think it's important to me, but it doesn't matter. However, people commonly use other yardsticks to measure their self-worth. Our worth isn't found by the work we do, but rather in what Papa says of us and thinks of us. Our self-esteem develops as we grow from childhood to adulthood and is affected by the image we build of ourselves through experiences with people in different situations. But we choose it. You know, I'm a big choice guy. We choose to have whatever that image of ourselves is, or what we choose to use as the yardstick. Self-worth is about how we value ourselves. I'm going to say that again. Self-worth is about how we value ourselves. Whether we see ourselves as worthy of love, respect, etc., those types of things. Self-worth gets to the very core of our being. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is a product of our self-worth. So they're not the same. Self-worth and self-esteem are not the same. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is a product of our self-worth. How we think and feel about ourselves based on how worthy we feel. Our self-esteem, in turn, then drives how we act and behave. Wow. That's major, right? That's going to choose, and that's going to show us, we're going to bury the roots of how we're developing our mindset out of what we think our worth and value is. If we think our worth and value is less than, if I think I'm not worthy, if I think I'm not enough, then the mindset that gets created out of that is skewed because it's not what it should be. And now I'm trying to overcome a deficiency somehow. If I can understand I have infinite value for no other reason than I am, and that comes straight from Papa. We all have infinite value. It doesn't matter what we've done. It doesn't matter what we think or how much money is in our bank or where we live or what we drive or who we know or what our title at work is, or none of that matters. How many awards we've won, none of that matters. We all have infinite value for no other reason than we are. But we don't hold on to that. How do we value ourselves? I want to ask a question. Throw it in the chat whenever you watch this. If you're watching it on a replay, still jump in and let me know that you're here, where you're listening or watching from, and where do you get your value from? I have a question for you. Do you have a net worth above $10 million? Yes, no, maybe. Throw it in the chat. Yes or no? You have a net worth over 10 million. Most people tell me no, they don't have a net worth over 10 million. Right? So thank you for responding there. Thank you for those responses. I appreciate that. So the question is this, at least the situation is this. If I'll solve that problem for you. I'll stroke you a check for 10 million. Is that good? And everybody goes, oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, so part of the deal, I'll stroke you the check for 10 million, but I need you to give me your eyes. Do we still have a deal? Yes or no? Yeah, no way. No, absolutely not. Yes, thank you. But why? Most people tell me, Gord, if I have 10 million, I can't enjoy it if I don't have my eyes. I need my eyes. What does that mean, though? Extrapolate that. That means you value your eyes above $10 million. But wait. You told me you didn't have a net worth over $10 million. Oh, wait a minute, Gord. Just a second. Hold on. And that's before we talk about your kidneys and your lungs and your heart and all the other pieces of your body. You value your eyes above 10 million, but why do we not put that worth and value there? Why do we not see, see what I did there? Why do we not see that intrinsic value? Why do we not, we're not aware of that? How come? Because it was given to us. It was free. We didn't do anything for it. So guess what we do? We take it for granted. We go, yeah, it's just there. That's nothing. Well, yeah, it is something, because there's people that don't have their eyes. There's people that don't have the ability to see, or they have the ability to see, but they're colorblind, so they don't get all the vibrant color. Be thankful for what we got. It's part of our worth. We have infinite worth. Infinite worth. And we don't see it. We don't see it. We don't acknowledge it. It's not part of the equation. We just take it for granted. It is what it is. Sorry, my mustache is in my mouth. I like being transparent and vulnerable. You know that about me. So one of the fun things, and I'm using fun very loosely, about my autoimmune stuff, is that if I don't have enough eye rapid movement, so REM, when I'm sleeping, so my eyes keep moving, if I don't have enough of that, then my eyelid will physically dry right onto my eyeball. And so then when you involuntarily wake up, your eyes shift. Involuntarily just happens. When you wake up, they move. When that happens, it tears it off. So it either leaves epithelial for the inside of my eyelid on my eyeball, or it lifts the cornea. So do you think I value, when I wake up in the morning and it doesn't tear, do I value that? Very much. Very, very, very much. Why? Because the pain of that is absolutely excruciating. And the only way to fix it is to go to an eye surgeon. And so it requires to go in, make an appointment, blah, 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 blah. So, it's a big, I value that. Should we value? Yes, we should value that. We're all over bits, and we'll value money. We'll value stuff. But the important things are what? What's the most important thing? We need to be able to value our time, because that's a non-renewable resource, and our relationships, and who we are, our own worth. Because if we can't do that, if we can't celebrate ourselves and have our own worth and hold that where it belongs, how the hell do you expect to be able to show worth or value to anybody else? How do you expect to show and be able to exhibit and make an example and illustrate worth to your kids or to your friends or anybody else? To show up for anybody else, how would you do that if you don't feel your own worth? You're walking around going, oh, that's a lack negative thinking. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy of love. That's going to make things really hard to live, to show up. How do I function in a space where, and again, that's what's happening. We get this, we'll talk about that in another, I talk about it in another space. So I get ahead of myself. I have to take a quick break. I want to do a quick shout out for Jose Escobar. Check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up a virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's an incredible group of people. I think they're in 17 or 18 countries. I guess I'm part of that group, but 17 countries, more than 40 states in the US. We're all over the place, and it's continuing to grow, like 330 people in the group, I think. And it just keeps growing and growing. So that's a great group. So reach out to Jose. If you're an entrepreneur and you have a history of success and you can fit your ego inside of a room, then you probably qualify. So as we go to a break here, don't forget to pause and breathe, to ground ourselves, right? To settle ourselves, to re-energize and to focus. Don't forget to pause and breathe. We're going to break here. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being with me. You're with the long-bearded guy. Today we're talking about beyond measure, navigating the labyrinth of our worth. What is our real true worth and value? And where do we get it from? How do we generate that inside ourselves? There's a lot of different definitions of it. There's a lot of different views about it. But at the end of the day, we want to unravel some of that labyrinth of concept. By the way, thank you for my special mug. Do you have your special mug? It's not coffee. I'm drinking. I think this was Boost. I think this is berry herbal tea. So I'm not drinking coffee when you see me like this. But thank you for being with me. I appreciate it. So we're going to talk about in this segment, the opinions of others don't matter. We put so much, because that's going to affect our worth, right? That's going to affect how we view ourselves, or we allow that. We allow other people's opinions of us to change what we think of ourselves. Wrong. This shouldn't be happening that way. Others' opinions do not matter. Our journey, your journey, each of our journey is not for somebody else. Your journey is for you. My journey is for me. We don't need somebody else's validation. We don't need approval. We don't even need someone to understand what our journey is about. But they don't need to understand what we're doing. It's not for them, it's for us. But that means I need to be able to find my worth on my own. I get my worth and my value from Papa. I generate that from inside myself. There's nothing external that has any bearing on that. Matter of fact, like I said earlier in the piece, even what I think and do I screw up? Yes. I'm human. You're human. None of us are perfect. That means we screw up, but does that change what I think of myself? Well, what's the measuring stick? What does Papa think of me? He says I have infinite value because I am. Perfect. So did his opinion of me change because I screwed up? No, it did not. It didn't. It didn't. We're going to talk about that in another segment today, a little farther down, in the third segment. How do we build it? Our sense of worth. How do we build it? We're going to talk about it in the next segment. But how do I, if I'm allowing and that's us allowing, by the way, that's us choosing to allow external circumstances and external other people, right? We sometimes get this, we have these empowered moments, and we do the Superman thing and we go, I'm going to be unapologetically me. And if they like it, great. If they don't like it, I don't give a crap. I'm going to be me. And then someone we love or respect questions that a little bit, and we go, and we put our mask back on, right? We go, oh, maybe they're not going to love me if they know who I really am. So we stop showing up authentically 100% as ourselves. Does our worth and value, should our worth and value be coming from that? No. We don't need somebody, do it, have the Superman thing and stand on that. I've said it before, when I shaved my head and put on my man bun, I had relatives, close nuclear family relatives tell me they hated my hair. And that's a direct quote. I hate your hair. Great, I didn't do it for you. I've conformed for 50 years or so. I'm not conforming anymore. I did what everybody else thought I should have been doing. People that I respected in my life that I needed, whether it's work stuff or in the kitchen or in the financial world, you had to look and sound and dress a certain way for people to be able to. And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be me. And if you like that, great. If you don't like that, great. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I was talking with somebody this week, and I think that there's a linchpin there. We have to be okay to be ourselves. And what I mean by that is we have to be able to stand in that empowerment and just be us. Just be me. I'm going to just be me. I know I'm going to be the best me. Nobody else can be me. I need to be me. Nobody else can be Gordon D. Melville. I do it better than anybody else. But I have to actually be Gordon D. Melville. I can't put a mask on because then I'm playing somebody else's part. Makes it very difficult to hold your worth and your value where it belongs when you're playing a part, when you're playing in a character. When I ask people who you be, and they laugh and go, Gord, your grammar's baffed. I'm like, I know. But if I ask it the other way, who are you being? It makes it more difficult. The weird thing is, once they get, I'm trying to do a rope-a-dope. I'm trying to interrupt their thought pattern. I'm trying to get them to think, stop the flow of thoughts for a second and go, what the hell did he really just ask me? And then be able to flow with that. Once they realize, okay, he's asking me who I'm being. Interestingly, most people can't answer that question. Who are you being? Really, truly, who are you being? Who are you? Most people can't answer that question. They don't know how. That makes it very difficult to figure out what your worth and your value is. And now you start to look for people outside for validation. Now I'm looking for other people in other places to be able to tell me what my worth and my value is. Am I doing well? Am I doing what? But that's based on what? That's based on their expectation. You know what I think of expectations? Right? We're trying to live up to somebody else's idea of who we should be. It's bullshit. That's not what's supposed to be happening. That's not what's supposed to be happening. And you know what? You can like it or not like it. It doesn't change what is. I've told you lots of times, I'm not here to polish your trophies. Right? I'll encourage you and lift you up and pat you on the back and celebrate your wins. But I'm doing you a disservice if I'm not challenging you, if I'm not shaking your cage and rattling your chain and going, hey, come on. People that listen to me are not people that want mediocrity. They're not people that want the status quo. Most of the people that are listening to me, if you're still listening to me or you tune in every week, that's not who you want to be. That's not who you want to be. You want to intentionally grow. You want to get comfortable being uncomfortable so that you can grow. Those are my people. You're my peeps. I'm looking for growth-minded humans to surround myself with. That's important to me. Very, very important to me. We need to be able to surround ourselves with people that understand and celebrate what our worth and value is, not people that tear it down. If you're not in a group of people, or you're surrounded by people, if you're not surrounded by people that have pom-poms and celebrate your wins, you're in the wrong group. And I'm not talking about that in terms of a mastermind. I'm talking about in life in general. Very difficult, very difficult. They say if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you need a group of people. You need to go with others. But you see a theme here, because some of this stuff is going to require EQ. It's going to require emotional quotient. That just bleeds through everything. But in terms of worth and value, our worth is the absolute bedrock foundation of everything. Because if we don't have a worth and a value that's set where it belongs, we're looking for validation outside of ourselves, where our mindset is skewed, because now I'm trying to overcome, maybe I'm not enough, maybe I'm not worthy, maybe I'm not worth loving. That's going to change how I behave. It's going to change decisions I make. It's going to make it very, very difficult to function as authentically me, because I'm trying to get somebody else to show me what my worth and value is. How are they going to do that? They can't even do that for themselves most of the time. We need to be able to stand in our empowerment, firmly stand in our empowerment, and understand and really hold on to and believe with our whole heart, yes, I have infinite value. Yes, I'm worth love. Yes, I'm worth everything. I'm worth loving. I'm worth spending time with. I'm worth exercising and being healthy and showing up for, and I'm worth all those things. I'm worth knowing. COVID really, as far as isolation, it really screwed a lot of people up, because we made people angry because they didn't want to spend time by themselves. They didn't want to spend time working on themselves. Less than 3% of the population does any kind of personal development. That's how hard it is. What do you believe yours is? What do you believe yours is? Do you pick up what Papa's putting down? Do you believe what Papa believes of you? How do you hold on to that? In the next segment, I have to take another quick break. In the next segment, we're going to talk about that Papa says we have infinite value because we are, for no other reason. But do we believe that? Because it will create our mindset. And I'm going to talk about some other things and how we build some sense of worth. How do we reinforce it? How do we find it? Some people go, Gord, I don't even know how to find that. How do I even find it, secure it? How do I build that up? So we're going to talk about that. First, I want to do a quick shout out before we take another quick break for Jose Escobar. Is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about the morning and evening mastery routine program that's changing people's lives. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session with Jose Escobar today. And if you're not doing something like that on the beginning bookends of your day, the beginning and the end, you're not maximizing. Don't fool yourself. You're not maximizing your day. You're not maximizing what your output could be. You could be getting way, way more done and with more fulfilling in less time. Reach out to Jose Escobar. We have to, sorry, don't forget to pause and breathe as we go for a quick break here. I'm going to drink some of my tea and don't forget to pause and breathe. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. I'm excited to have you with me today. Thank you so much for hanging with me, spending some of your limited resource called time with me today. I appreciate it. We're talking today about beyond measure, navigating the labyrinth of our worth. We have infinite worth, infinite worth. But a lot of times we get sidetracked. We get pulled in other directions and we're like, wait, you know what? I'm not sure that's true, or I'm not sure that's right. Or, other people don't validate that for me. So how do I know that? We're going to talk. Papa says we have infinite value, and I call God Papa because of my relationship with him, just so that's clear. But he says we have infinite value because we are, for no other reason than we are. But do we believe that? Do we stand in that? Because that is going to create our mindset. We've talked about it a couple times today. That worth and value, if it's skewed, if we think we lack somehow, if we think we're not enough, if we don't feel worthy of love or worthy of anything, when we generate our mindset out of that, it's going to be cockeyed, because it's not going to be what it's supposed to be. It's going to be negative and lack instead of positive and abundance. So we need to be careful. We need to watch what are and know how to hold on to that. Know how to hold on to your worth without anybody else, because it's not about anybody else. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Your journey is not for anybody else. It's for you. We don't need validation. The other people's opinions do not matter. Matter of fact, of other people's opinion is none of my business even. It has nothing to do with me. They're going to think what they want regardless of what I do. Have you experienced that? You do all the right things and you still get brain damage? You do it wrong, you get brain damage. Well, if I'm going to get brain damage either way, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be unapologetically, unabashedly, 100% authentically me. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't care. I'm going to be me. Does that mean I'm just going to sort of throw myself all over the place and I really don't give a crap? No, that's not what I mean either. But other people's opinions of me don't matter. I don't care. I've had people put negative comments on my shows. And somebody asked me, what are you going to do? Are you going to delete it or are you going to respond to them? I'm like, no. First of all, I was all excited. Yes. They're like, why are you excited? I'm like, I have officially arrived. I have haters. If you don't have people pushing back on you, you're probably not being you. If you don't have people that are disagreeing with you, you're probably not being 100% you, because there's no two people on the planet that are going to think exactly the same, no matter how well they get along. They're going to have differing views about something. They're two different human beings. It's not possible for them to be exactly the same. Be unapologetically you. Let the chips fall where they may, and surround yourself with people that revel in that celebrate that. If you don't have that, find it. I'm telling you, it'll make a huge difference in your life. Huge, huge difference. People that aren't jealous that you're succeeding. People that will encourage you to push harder and to do more and to fail more often, faster, and fail forward. Try, put it out there. What's the worst that can happen? I fail. Or maybe I look stupid. They're going to think what they want anyway. Maybe I already look stupid. I already get people that go, Gord, I don't like your ponytail. I don't care. They're going to think what they want anyway. When I had regular hair and I had they still had judgment. They're going to do it anyway. Be you. Challenge you. Be you. 5 things real quick. Write these. I guess it's an acronym, but it doesn't spell anything. AEDFT. AEDFT. 5 things we're going to talk about just real quick. How to build or secure your sense of worth. How do we build it, or how do we look after it? How do we fix it? How do we give it the attention it needs? The first thing is to accept. Accept. Accept our thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they are. Don't judge them. They don't define you. Accept your thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they are. Don't make them worse than they are. Just accept them the way they are. Don't judge them. They don't define you. And at the end of the day, you're accepting your thought, the emotion, and the emotion is something you're choosing to do. Nobody can make you feel anything. No. You allowed them. You chose to allow that to affect you. So accept your thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they are. Don't judge them. They don't define you. E is the second one. Eliminate the word should. And I've done another whole episode on shoulding all over ourselves. Eliminate should from your vocabulary. Comes from a place of judgment. Turn the shoulds into coulds. Eliminate should from your vocabulary. It comes from a place of judgment. We're judging ourselves when we say, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Well, why didn't you? I don't know. I just didn't. But I should have. Well, no. Stop saying you should have. You're judging yourself that you didn't live up to whatever your own expectation. You had the choice to do it and you didn't do it. So stop saying should. Say could. I could have. I chose not to. That keeps you in a sense of empowerment. That keeps you in a sense of control of the only things you can control. What you think and what you do are the only things you can control. Number 3, the D. So AED. Accept, eliminate. The D is do not rely on other people to provide your sense of worth. Do not rely on other people to provide your sense of worth. Internalize your empowerment and make yourself the only wielder of it. That's really powerful. Internalize your empowerment. So it's coming from inside you. Internalize that empowerment and make yourself and choose to only allow you to wield that power. Internalize your empowerment and make yourself the only wielder of it. Do not rely on other people to provide your sense of worth. Don't do it. It's not on them. It's for yourself. And if you do that, if you internalize your empowerment and then you choose to be the only person, don't hand the paintbrush for your painting of your life to somebody else. Hold it in your own hand. Don't abdicate that power. Because you can't have it both ways. You can't abdicate the power and then whine and bitch and complain because your life's not what you want it to be. You gave away the paintbrush. You're allowing other people to choose and to direct you by what their opinion of you is. You're allowing those opinions to change what your behavior is or what you think of you. They don't even like themselves. There's no way. Come on. Hold that inside yourself. The F, so AEDF, accept, eliminate, do. F is forgive. And it's not forgive other people. Forgive ourselves for the past wrongdoing, for things that we've done in the past where we didn't live up to our own what we thought we should have been able to do, what we thought we could have done, not should, what we thought we could have done. Forgive ourselves for past wrongdoing. Shame, regret, and guilt sabotage our feelings of worth. Forgive ourselves for past wrongdoing. Shame, regret, and guilt sabotage our feelings of worth. And we carry that around all over the place. The shame and regret of stuff that we thought we were supposed to do and didn't. Don't carry that around. Forgive yourself. And in terms of forgiving other people, that's still for you. It has nothing to do with them. It's not letting them off the hook. It's not saying what they did was okay. Not forgiving somebody is like drinking poison and expecting my neighbor to die. It doesn't work. It's only not forgiving somebody is only hurting me. And when I don't forgive myself, that's hurting me. Forgive other people for your own self-preservation. It's too much. Same things, regret, shame, and guilt. You're carrying them around. Don't carry them around. They'll crush you. They'll crush you. They'll crush your dream. They'll crush your worth. They'll crush everything in your life. So forgive yourself for past wrongdoing. That's number 4. Number 5 is the T. So AEDFT. Accept, eliminate, do, forgive, and then T is take stock of your talents. Take stock of the things that you do well. Take stock of the gifts that you have. Take stock and pay attention to what your genius is. Because you have genius. We all have a genius. We all have multiple genius inside of ourselves. What are the things that we are really good at? Take stock of those things. I would recommend you write them down. When we talk about this in the call to action, that'll be part of that. Writing down what your genius is. Do you know what it is? Have you paid attention to it? Because some of your worth is going to come from that. Just thinking about it. Living out authentically you will help increase and cement your worth for yourself. I got to take another break, but I want to talk. I have a Boxed Inside Out cohort that's starting in the middle of September. That's a men only, and I'm on the first 12 guys that say yes are in. That's a 90 minutes every other week for 4 months, and that's a deep dive into providing tools and strategies. The whole concept around cheating, and you know what? We're cheating, and that's become my mantra in the last little bit. Hey, stop cheating. Hey, stop cheating. And it's not that we're being unfaithful to a person. We're being unfaithful to our relationships at home with our job. We're stepping out. We're spending time, way too much time. Entrepreneurs typically will spend a lot of time at work, 60, 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week. I have to work, hon. I've got to be at work. I've got to bring home the bacon. You ever thought maybe it's not the dollars and cents they're looking for from you? My pro athlete friends, they're on the road a lot because of the games and because of the season and because of practice and all these different things. But that it plays hell with their relationships, with their spouse, with their significant other, parenting with their kids. When I was on the road for 7 years, I'd walk in the house and my kids, you could see the look on their face was like, hey, mom, that guy's back, which hurt my heart. But I was choosing to be away. And I shouldn't have been. I put my job on a pedestal and said, you know what, that's the most important thing. And it's not. So if you want to dig deeper into that, we're going to talk about some of those concepts in in Box Inside Out. And I also have one-on-one coaching and mentorship. I've got other programs I'm about to launch. I'm very excited. I can't talk about it yet, but in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be this massive big thing that's going to be launched. I'm very excited about that. Pay attention, watch for that, listen for that. I'll share it soon. And I'm excited. I'm so excited about that. And again, if you happen to be in Atlanta or in that general area or can get there, that He-Men conference is going to be massive. That's going to be a monster huge event, and I'm so honored to be part of that, and to be a keynote speaker for that. It's going to be unbelievable. So if you can get there, I think there's still even a BOGO happening. So you buy it, get the second one free. Go with your son, go with your brother, go with your dad. Go with a buddy. You want to be surrounded by hundreds of godly guys that are all on the same boat. We're all in the same boat. We all have the same challenge. Our lives are all a little bit different, right? We show up differently. We're all different human beings, but we have this commonality. We have these threads that we all struggle with. You want to be lifted up and encouraged? Come to the He-Men conference. So as we go to break, again, do not forget to pause and breathe. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap when we come back, and we're going to have some call to action. So don't go anywhere. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Don't forget to pause and breathe. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Everybody, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me today. I appreciate you. If you haven't heard it yet today, I love you. I'm looking right into the camera. I love you. Big, 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 big hugs. I care. Beyond everything else, I want my tombstone to say, I always knew he loved me. Partly because Papa, I always have known he loved me. But I want everybody to be able to have the impact that I have on people. They may not remember what I say to them. They may not remember the words, but they'll always remember how I made them feel. And I want everybody to go, you know what? Gord gave a shit about me. He loved me. So if you haven't heard it yet today, massive, massive, massive love. We're talking today about the beyond measure, navigating the labyrinth of our worth. We have infinite value and worth. Beyond measure. Way more than we could even understand or anticipate. But when we talk today, we're going to wrap real quick. The definition of worth. How do we value ourselves? Remember, you wouldn't exchange your eyes for $10 million. We have infinite value and worth. Don't just take shit for granted. Don't take that stuff for granted. Just don't do it. It was gifted to you. The opinions of others don't matter. They really don't. Stop listening to people. Stop trying to live up to somebody else's expectation of what they think you should be. They don't even live up to their own expectations of what they think they should be. They really don't. And they're going to think what they want regardless of what you do. You do it right, you do it wrong, doesn't matter. They're going to think what they want regardless. So it doesn't matter. Be unapologetically you, 100% authentically you, and let the chips fall where they may. Surround yourself with people that support that and encourage that and want that, no matter what that means, and love you unconditionally regardless. Do we believe we have infinite value? Because it's going to create our mindset. And then we talked about how to build secure, and we went through AEDFT: accept, eliminate, do, forgive, and take. Go back through it, listen to it again. Make sure you write them down. All right, so that's the wrap. What's the call to action? I want you to write out a list of all your accomplishments. What's your geniuses? What's your talents? Write them out. What have you? Go back as far as you can. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is. Oh, I graduated elementary school. Congratulations. Write it down. Oh, that's nothing. No, it's something. Lots of people didn't. Henry Ford dropped out in grade 3. And he wasn't really successful. So it might be a bad illustration, but it's something. Don't discount it. Don't judge what you've done. Write them all down, as many as you possibly can. Write them down and then keep them handy. Because when you get in places where you're like, oh, I'm not sure I'm worthy. Oh, yeah, right. No, I did. Yeah, that's right. You know what? I'm okay. I have infinite value for no other reason than I am. These things that you write down are just external validations of yourself, that for you, not for somebody else. And then forgive yourself. Ask for help if you need it. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Reach out, ask for help if you need to, but find a way to forgive yourself. Next week, Friday, by the way, write that stuff down, email it to me if you want to. Would love to be an accountability partner. Send it to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Next week, Friday, September 8th, same time, same place, same happy beard. What we're going to talk about next week is a little bit of a tongue twister, but our action addiction to breaking free into authentic being. Our action addiction to breaking free into authentic being. We're human beings, not human doings. But we have to do. But the doing should be an extension of who we're being. Let that sink in. Our action addiction to breaking free into authentic being. Reach out to people today. People have put their names are put on your heart for a reason. They come to mind for a reason. Reach out to them. Don't let it go by. And it doesn't take a great big long whatever. I had a buddy last week, his name came to mind. I haven't talked to him in 6 months. Hey, I love you. That's all I said to him. And he came back and said, how did you know I needed to hear that today? I didn't, but somebody did. That's why his name came to mind. Be there for each other. Be the friend you want others to be to you, regardless what anybody else does. It's not about what you're doing, why you're doing it. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because that's character. If you can be who you're supposed to be, even when no one's paying attention, and even when there's no accolade, and even when nobody will ever know, that's character. It's character. Who you're being. Understand you have infinite worth. Be courageous this week. Be unapologetically you. Make it another great week because you have the ability to do that. I love you. Massive hugs. Live out you. You abundantly and with intention, and I'll see you next week. Know that you're loved and cared about. Massive big hugs. Don't forget to live abundantly and with intention.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy